Bob, are you in Commerce? Bob, you're at? He's in Thompson, Georgia. Oh, he's in Thompson. Got it. Sorry, I haven't talked about the friend was leaving out of town. You were talking to her. Y'all double. I said my friend was leaving. I was talking to her. Okay, thank you, Mike.
Well, good afternoon, and again, Happy New Year. It is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. I think it's Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Not exactly sure today. Been all mixed up when you get into the holidays. So we're going to have a little double header today. We're going to start with Ham Radio Rumblings, and then we'll move into Ham Radio University 2024, the on-air event that will lead up to Ham Radio University Live at LIU Post College, January the 6th. So we'll be on the air. I think we'll pick a frequency of 40 meters. But for now, let's do some rumblings. You know, there's been a lot of talk about the ham radio clock, and I decided to look into it. And I like working with a Raspberry Pi. So what I did was I have a Raspberry Pi 4 that I'm using currently for Node-RED. That's a whole nother subject, whole nother 10 videos. But anyway, so I decided to use a Raspberry Pi 4 to load up the ham clock, and it actually wasn't too difficult. So right now, what I'll do is I'll share the desktop with you, and you'll see now right here. This is the basics. This is Raspberry Pi SD card setup for beginners. This is if you're new to Raspberry Pi, you just received your Pi, and now you want to basically take an image for the Debian software. And this is an excellent source, the Maker's Workshop. The Maker's Workshop, and you can find that on YouTube. And basically, he goes through the steps and how to load your Raspberry Pi.
The updated version of one of my most popular videos.
Yeah, and he's excellent at describing it step by step. So basically, you're going to be loading up the operating system, the Linux operating system, and he will show you some shortcuts and some good ideas on how to do it. The Maker's Workbench, excellent bunch of tutorials.
Last year, the Raspberry Pi Foundation announced Raspberry Pi Imager, a utility designed to simplify the process of installing operating systems onto SD cards for use in Raspberry Pis.
Okay.
Raspberry Pi Imager allows users to select the specific operating system they would like to install, and then the program downloads the latest version of that operating system.
Correct. So you just follow all the prompts. You'll have an SD card. I think he wants a 32 gigabyte SD card. And you will then have a Raspbian, Debian actually, will be loaded on your computer. Okay, so now we have the Raspberry Pi now has the software. Okay, so now we can begin to load our ham clock live. And here it is. Well, this is the actual ham clock, but that's cool. So this is the next place you'll be going to. This is clearskyinstitute.com, ham clock. clearskyinstitute.com ham clock, and this gives you all the instructions of what to do. So the first thing you want to do is go to desktop, and you basically scroll down, and you need to download and run the installer here. by editing the following commands. And essentially, that is going to begin the process of loading Ham Clock onto your Raspberry Pi. Now, you can also load the Ham Clock onto your Windows PC, and that's another set of tutorials. But for now, this is doing it on the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so now you've loaded on the Raspberry Pi. You've set everything in the basically the installer on the command lines from the terminal of Raspberry Pi. And what you'll have now is a blank screen. You will have, this is the Ham Clock. Now, isn't that cool? I mean, when I first loaded it this morning, it was a smaller version. It was made for a 7-inch monitor. So then when I started up the Pi again today, it wanted to know if I wanted to do an update. And I did an update, and it automatically opened up to full screen. So I think that is pretty cool. Now, you're seeing spots here, current spots. You can see there's a number of activities. Now, I have not read the full instruction sheet, but you can also download, and it's somewhere here, download satellites, and when the satellites will be in view. So it's kind of cool. And I don't know what box that's in. I could find that later on, but it is a satellite display, and it'll show you all the current satellites and the times they'll be in your footprint. What you have to do here is you have to set in your call sign, your latitude, and your longitude, and then it'll start to load. And you can see there's some pretty, and I guess it's customizable, but going through, I want to go through the information instruction sheet to find out just what more can be done here. But I think this is outstanding. I really do. I think it's a nice piece of software, and it's all for free. So Happy New Year, and enjoy that. Okay, so that's Ham Radio Rumblings for today, and hopefully you might benefit from this. And there's tremendous amount of videos still going through step by step what you have to do. Okay, so let us now basically clear out of this and get back to what we want to do, and that's Ham Radio University. So stand by while we set up for Ham Radio University. Just stand by one moment, and I'll cue that up, and you'll get the splash screen about Ham Radio University starting soon. Okay, thank you. Okay, so at this point now, what we can do is essentially we'll move the clock. We'll move the clock over here. You won't see it, but it's another section of the desktop, and I can enlarge it. There we go. Okay. If you have any questions, there we go. Okay, so let me now get rid of this piece of software there, and let me move into the operating position. So now we'll have the log here set up, and we'll have a couple of other terminals set up here. A lot different when I started in 64, when you had a couple of knobs and you just flipped a switch, and voila, on your way you would go. Okay, there you go. So let me do one more thing here. Okay, there we go. We turn on the amp. We're going to look to see what 40 meters looks like, and we'll work with that and see how that looks. Okay, I think we'll get the fan going, because this will warm up. Especially have to throw out a lot of CQs. Okay. 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 Alrighty, now we'll tune it up and see how this looks. We're going to be using our external ATU, because the SPE may not like what's going on in 40. So let's see what happens here. Let's see how that tunes up. Okay, 1.13. Okay, so now we are going to put on some sound, and let's get the let's get the screen up here. Let's get the flex going so you'll see the beautiful, and I think it's one of the best pan adapters out there today. And there you go. Happy New Year. And there's the pan adapter. Okay, so what I need to do, let me go to my holiday hat. There's my holiday hat. Okay. We got enough light in the room. Okay. But you still don't hear anything. What's wrong here? Well, we can hear some. Let's wait a second here while we cue up the sounds of HF. And we will do that in a moment. Are you ready? Are you ready?
4GFJ. I'll be back in a few.
Okay. I'm going to try to find a clear frequency here to play with. This may be good, and it may not. Let's see. Okay. Amp likes it. But we'll see if the frequency is clear first. That's the first thing. We'll be polite. Is the frequency clear? Is the frequency clear? This is Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform, special event station. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, anyone, anywhere. This is Ham Radio University 2024, W2HRU, Hotel Romeo Uniform. This is a lead up to a live Ham Radio University, which will be held January 6th at LIU Post. Website is www.hamradiouniversity.org. I haven't posted yet. CQ calling CQ, anyone, anywhere. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. My call sign is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Home call Long Island, New York. The name is Peter. Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. CQ calling CQ. CQ calling CQ. Anyone, anywhere. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. Special event station for Ham Radio University. A certificate is available by going to the W2HRU site, and you can also request a beautiful QSL card. CQ calling CQ. Anyone, anywhere. My name is Peter. Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. CQ calling CQ. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform.
Whiskey 2 Golf Papa Romeo.
That's pretty good. It almost sounds like me. Whiskey 2 Golf Papa Romeo. Welcome aboard. Happy New Year. The first to join us on this second day of operating Ham Radio University. I think it's Jamie, and I think you're in Dryden, New York. Can you tell me where that is? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good, sir. QSL. Dryden, New York is about an hour north of Binghamton and about an hour south of Syracuse. Just west of the 81 corridor in Tompkins County. Grid square is FN12, FN12. And the little tiny one is UL. The name here is Jamie, Juliet Alpha Mike India Echo, correct there, good job. I am looking you up on QRZ and log in this one right now. This is W2GPR with W2HRU. Back to you, sir.
Jamie, that's terrific. W2GPR, Golf Papa Romeo, thank you. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform, the 25th year. Would you believe that? You wouldn't. I wouldn't either. 25 years of doing broadcasting forums at Ham Radio University. Quite an honor to do that. Founded 25 years ago. Yes, you're a much wanted county, that's for sure, during our third turn colony. So and all the other events that look for counties. Got a great signal. I know where you are now because I would often go to Watkins Glen, so I kind of have a pretty good idea of your location, Jamie. Nice signal, by the way, 5.9 plus. With very, very good audio. Any other questions that you might have on W2HRU? Now, my home call, Jamie, is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria, and the name is Peter. So hopefully you looked at the W2HRU site and some of your questions may be answered. Go ahead.
Yeah, fine business, Peter. QSL. Yeah, I'm familiar with Watkins Glen. Did a lot of work in that area here and there in my younger years. Yep, I just logged on QRZ. That's a university call, and I'm looking at your page right this minute. So if you throw that call out there, I'll log that one also, as you just did. I'm running barefoot on 991A. I was 45 watts because I still had her hauled back for a local 6-meter net last night, and I'm barefooting into a G5 RV. I've got a few other wire antennas here, but yeah, I'm running a G5 RV about 30 feet off the ground, east to west, with the ladder line just barely touching the ground. And you got crystal clear. W2JV and, oh jeepers, what was the other one? I just had it. Anyway, W2GPR, standing by.
Well, thank you so much, Jamie. Well done. W2GPR, Whiskey 2, a lot of calls I'm throwing out. Whiskey 2, Hotel Romeo Uniform, Ham Radio University. And the home call is Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Well, I'll tell you, phenomenal job with the 991A. And who doesn't like the G5RV? A few people are raising their hand right now, but I'll tell you, it is a wonderful performer, and you are performing well because you're a solid 5 and 9. I'm using a Flex radio, a Flex 6400M, M for the Maestro version on the front panel. I could turn knobs if I'd like. And I'm using a Navasa 5 antenna that's up about 50 feet. I have a Heil PR781 mic that I'm kind of breaking in. I'm enjoying this mic very much. I'm usually a headset guy, but during these special events, Jamie, I'd like to test out these microphones, and I think the Heil did a good job with this one. I think it really works well with the Flex. And I'm using an SPE Expert amp. SPE Expert. Right now, the power is about 300 watts or so, about 300 watts. So, like the setup, like your setup, and you're really doing so well. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the contact. And again, we weren't able to set up our hybrid setup where we could do a GoToMeeting or a Zoom operation, so we could basically broadcast from LIU and broadcast it also to the rest of the country and world. But not this year. We just don't have the bandwidth. But hopefully next year we'll be set for that. But we will have quite a few PDFs. I will be doing orbiting the Earth, getting started with amateur radio satellites, and I will have a PDF available after the presentation for that. I know it's a small niche of people that get involved with that, but there are so many other seminars, getting started, building your own ham station, DXing, POTA, Raspberry Pi. So it's a nice full menu of activity, and we're going to really enjoy doing it. So over to you for any finals or any other comments. I'm yours. I'm serving you today, Jamie. W2GPR. I like that call. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. Ham Radio University.
Yeah, outstanding. W2HRU and W2JV here in the group with two people, but we got 3 calls flying there. This is my first. I've only had about 5 or 6 contacts with this G5RV. I picked it up from a buddy at a ham fest, and I got it up. I usually run a 130-foot my antenna at 8010, and that is amazing. I'm really impressed with how quiet this G5RV is compared to that long headset. And I also run a CHA, a Chameleon trap dipole, as an inverted V. All I have are wire antennas for my HF stuff and running barefoot. And yeah, I agree with you with that Heil setup. I did buy a Heil setup that I use specifically just for playing radio out and about when I'm doing Parks on the Air and things like that. And it is
interesting conversations. Really is fun.
Having that right next to my big head. So, well, good news there, Peter. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing there for the HRU. And got 2 calls in the log there. And if you don't mind, I'll spot you on DX Summit and throw a little blip in there, and you might get some cool calls from someplace else about what you're doing, if that's okay with you. This is W2GPR. Want to go play radio with W2HRU, saying 73 on your final, folks.
Well, thank you, Jamie. W2GPR, Golf Papa Romeo, W2HRU, Ham Radio University, 25 years. You must be telepathic, because I was going to ask you to please spot me. I wanted to get on the air, and I forgot to do the mandatory spotting, so that would be wonderful. I'd really appreciate that, and hopefully I could stay on this frequency before he kind of gets busy. You know, it's the activity, as you well know, with POTA, and I love to do POTA as well, and we're having a very nice seminar on POTA. Isn't it great to have a POTA book out now, the ARRL? So it is incredible. And, you know, I was on 20 yesterday, and I couldn't find a spot to work because there were so many special event stations and so many POTA stations. I mean, I think any day of the week, you could have 30, 40 POTA stations out there. It is just phenomenal. It's really brought so much life, so much breath, so much activity, so much fellowship. It's just incredible. It really is. It's just wonderful that they've done that. So good for them. But thank you. I appreciate that. By the way, I forgot to mention back to you, Barefoot. I mean, it's just incredible. And Yeah, the G5RV is quiet. There's no question about that, and that makes a big difference, especially on bands like this, as an example. Any help in the noise floor is just phenomenal. Well, listen, thank you very much. Thanks for spotting me. Thanks for the conversation. By the way, not to forget, I am streaming this live on Twitch TV. I don't know if you've ever seen Twitch TV, but it's the platform for gamers mostly and chit chat and a lot of other stuff. But a couple of amateur radio operators are streaming. I am, and I have my call, a Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. So if you want to hear that melodious voice of yours and that nice signal, please go to Twitch TV, join it, and maybe even you can even subscribe so that when I have other streams, you can go on board. I just did one a few minutes ago that I call Ham Radio Rumblings. And essentially, it's any subject that I might be interested in, and I set up a ham radio clock, and I know there's so much talk about that for the last couple of years, and I set it up through my Raspberry Pi, and it is just incredible. What a nice piece of software. So I discussed a little bit about the setup for ham radio clock and my ham radio rumblings, and then I went into doing this broadcast. So anyway, all that saying goodbye, Happy New Year, Healthy New Year, Jamie. And I sure hope I can talk with you again. The best of 73s to you. Thanks so much for the time, and thanks for sharing all that information with me. That sounds great. 73s, W2GPR, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform.
W2HRU, fine business there. Yeah, I'm just pulling up your Twitch page right now. I haven't ever done anything with it. This is a great time to do it. So I'll be looking forward to listening to that a little bit. I've got you spotted on DX Summits. I'm waiting for it to get approved. Apparently, it's not showing up yet, but I'll make sure I get it in there.
Nice guy.
Good luck with everything today. Thanks for all you do for our hobby. Looks like you've got your hands in a lot of different works there to promote what we do here. And great news. Thanks so much. This is W2GPR saying so long to W2HRU 73. Good luck. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we got our hands in things. As you can see from my personal website, I just got through with doing 12 Days of Christmas. That was just a phenomenal event. Did that, and we're going to do an event in April for autism awareness, and I look forward to doing that as well. So public service, that's what we're scheduled to be, and we're going to be doing some of that, and now HRU and so on and so forth. So, yep, thank you so much for acknowledging that. I appreciate that. Best of 73, stay well, healthy, and again, thanks for spotting me, and thanks again for sharing all that nice information about your setup. Be well. Thanks so much, Jamie. Take care. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform, W2HRU, 25 years of events called Ham Radio University. Their forums, their subject and idea is to bring fellowship of hams together and discuss a lot of subjects ham radio related. 73s to you, sir. W2HRU, W2HRU, listening. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ, anyone, anywhere. This is W2HRU, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform, Ham Radio University 2024. My name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. CQ calling, CQ, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform, listening. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. This is W2HRU, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. W2HRU, Ham Radio University, leading up to a live event January the 6th, 2024 at LIU CW Post College, www.hamradiouniversity.org for more information. CQ calling, CQ, W2HRU, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. CQ calling, CQ, anyone, anywhere. This is W2HRU, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. W2HRU, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. W2HRU, Ham Radio University, CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. W2HRU on 7253-350, 72, I'm writing this down, 7253-350, not an even number, but the best I could do today. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. W2HRU, listening. Whiskey 4 again, please. Whiskey 4. Thank you very much, Juliet Mike Whiskey. Whiskey Bravo 4, Juliet Mike Whiskey, 5 and 9 into Long Island, New York, Walter. Nice signal from Tennessee this afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for the signal report. I am running 1 watt.
1 watt. That is incredible. Let me give you the real signal report is a 5 and 6. 5 and 6. And I'll tell you one thing further. My antenna is northwest, so I'm getting you long path with 1 watt. Isn't that phenomenal, Walter?
Well, I'm working on an old, not working, well, my radio that I'm using is an old Yaesu 301 Delta, and the amplifier went out, years ago, and I just use this thing mainly as a receiver. Over.
Well, that is great. Good for you. What kind of antenna are you mating with that? Well, that's great. Well, that is really hanging on really well. That's good. Good for you, Walter. Congratulations. And that is the spirit, the adventure, and getting out of your comfort zone with ham radio and trying less is more. So you're getting out there fine. And I got to tell you, the audio is really great. Wonderful job. Congratulations, Walter. Really love to hear that signal. Sounds great. That's 1 watt. So if you're listening on Twitch TV, that's 1 watt. All right. Oh, great. Well, listen, Walter, you have a good day. Happy New Year to you, and best of 73s. And thanks for joining us, celebrating the 25th year of Ham Radio University. And you can get a wonderful certificate by going to the W2HRU site, and they also have a QSL card you could request. So if you'd like that, you've earned it today, Walter, especially with 1 watt. Thank you very much. Whiskey Bravo 4, Juliet Mike Whiskey, with 1 watt. Congratulations. That's great. 73s to you, and good health. And good health to your rig as well. I'm sure you're taking wonderful care of it. QRZ, anyone, anywhere. We take better care of our equipment sometimes than we do our lawns, but that's another story. CQ calling, CQ, anybody, anywhere. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo uniform listening.
Whiskey Alpha 8, Victor Echo Sierra.
Thank you, Victor Echo Sierra. Whiskey Alpha 8. Victor Echo Sierra. Very good afternoon, Ken or Kenneth from Michigan. I believe you're in the Cadillac, Michigan area. What a wonderful place to be, USA American, right, Walter?
Cadillac's a pretty nice place, but right now, no snowfall and kind of wet, and the ski slopes are a little upset. They're losing a lot of customers.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I know. We're having the same problem here in the Northeast, so hopefully that'll change quickly. By the way, let me give you a signal report. 5 and 7, Kenneth. 5 and 7 into Long Island, New York. QSL?
QSL, I also have you 5-7 here in Cadillac. You just stumbled upon you going through the dial, and never heard of the Ham Radio University before.
Yeah, this is our 25th year of doing it. For the last, I guess it's 3 years, we basically did it on GoToMeeting, but now we're live again in Westbury, New York, and it's an ARRL sanctioned Long Island convention. So we're doing it in the headquarters of CW Post, and again, it's tough for a lot of people from outside of the area to visit it, but we'll have plenty of information. Go to the website, W2HRU, and then you can get to the Ham Radio University webpage, and you'll find a lot of interesting information about past basically forums, and there's a lot of information to be shared. And we also have a YouTube page as well for Ham Radio University. So, Ken, I'm glad we introduced it to you, and never too late. This is the 25th year we're doing it. Go ahead.
I think for letting me know and being on the air today, I'm definitely going to go and check it out. And if you're ever in the Cadillac area, don't hesitate to stop by. We have some radio club here, and I'm more than happy to introduce you to guys in Cadillac.
The best of 73s to you. Happy New Year, healthy New Year to you, and lots of amateur radio in your future. QRZ, anyone, anywhere, Whiskey 2, Hotel Romeo uniform.
Kilo 3, Delta Mike Mike.
Delta Mike Mike, yes, good afternoon. Charlie Station standby. Kilo 3, Delta Mike Mike, 5 and 9, Signal Dennis from Long Island, New York.
Yeah, Roger, you're 5'9 plus, sounding great here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania this afternoon.
Well, thank you very much for saying that. Yeah, you have very nice audio as well, and I like that big smile that you have on your face, sitting in front of your rigs. Really looks good, and I like that license plate as well. I know where you are. Lovely area, really nice area. Well, listen, 73s and Happy New Year, and thanks a lot for sharing a couple of moments with us while we bring us up to speed on Ham Radio University. January 6th is our live event at CW Post LIU College. So the best of 73s to you, and thanks a lot for the contact, Dennis. Have a very happy New Year.
Roger, and a happy New Year to you, and thank you very much for taking my call. K3 DMM.
Thank you, K3 DMM. We're clear with you. QRZ? Whiskey 0 again, please. Whiskey 0. That's it. I didn't think I heard the Charlies. Whiskey 0, Golf. Whiskey 0, Charlie, Golf, Charlie. Thank you so very much. 5 and 9, Chris, Long Island, New York.
Roger, coming to you on parallel dipole, BX10, running 5 whiskey.
Parallel dipole with 5 whiskeys. Terrific. This is a day for QRP. Spoke to a person earlier with 1 whiskey. So the whiskeys are getting a little bit stronger. But you sound great. Really a nice signal. We'll give you a true signal report. Is 5 and 6. 5 and 6, Chris. Congratulations. Well done. Thank you. 73s, Chris, and happy, healthy New Year.
Yeah, I heard the gentleman Warren. He's on ICOM. He can get it down in the net. I'm on the Azo, 5 ounces of bad metal barrel. I thought I'd give you a whirl, my friend.
Hey, thank you. You're really testing the ears of this Flex 6400, and I think it's doing a good job. Noise level isn't too bad at all. It's about an S3.5 here in Long Island, New York. My home call is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Best of 73s. Happy New Year, and thanks so much for taking the time to make contact with us. 73s to you, sir.
73 from Tennessee.
Thank you so much. QRZ, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo uniform. The Kilo 8 again, Kilo 8. Is that Kilo 8 November India Kilo? Okay, Victor. And no, Kilo 8 November India Victor. So is it John in West Virginia? Well, you know, 5 watts. This is the our QRP seminar. By the way, I have a station really that's bleeding over. If you were in the clear, it would be just outstanding. But I have somebody that's really putting a little excessive bandwidth on 40, so we may have to move a little bit. But you're doing fine. You actually have a 5 and 6 signal, John. Very good 5 and 6. So happy New Year, and thanks for putting the station on QRP. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot from West Virginia, 73s. This is Whiskey 2, Hotel Romeo uniform. Who are we? Well, we're Ham Radio University. January 6th, we'll be doing a live event at LIU CW Post College. My name is Peter, and my home call is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. QRZ. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. Anyone, anywhere. This is Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo uniform. A Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo uniform. CQ and listening. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. W2HRU. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo uniform. QRZ. Yeah, I'm squeezed between 2 strong stations. I may have to move and try that out, but we'll try it again. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo uniform, QRZ. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, W2HRU, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo uniform, Ham Radio University, special event Certificate is available. W2HRU. Okay, I'm going to move up the band a bit. Going to move up the band, see what happens. No, I'll stay here. There may not be activity. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. W2HRU, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. CQ calling CQ, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. W2HRU listening. Okay, we're going to QSY to, I think, 20 meters. QSYing. We're looking for a clear spot right now. I haven't gone away. There you go. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's good here. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform Special Event Station. Is the frequency in use? Well, somebody's tuning up. I don't know what that means. Is the frequency in use? W2HRU. Yeah, let's give it a try. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. Anyone, anywhere for Ham Radio University 2024. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. Special event station leading up to a live event January 6th at LIU Post College in Westbury, Long Island, New York. CQ calling CQ. CQ calling CQ. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. W2HRU. CQ calling CQ. Anyone, anywhere. W2HRU listening. CQ calling CQ. CQ calling CQ. W2HRU. Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. W2HRU. CQ and listening. I think we'll post ourselves. Stand by. QRX. QRX. I'm going to post myself here. CQ calling CQ. CQ calling CQ. W2. W2HRU. W2 Ham Radio University. CQ calling CQ. CQ calling CQ at 14327. CQ calling CQ. CQ calling CQ. This is Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. Whiskey 2 Hotel Radio Uniform. Ham Radio University 2024. CQ calling CQ. Anyone, anywhere. This is W2HRU. W2HRU Ham Radio University 2024. CQ calling CQ and listening.
W2HRU. W2HRU. November 4. Yankee Echo. Yankee Echo.
Well, thank you so much. November 4, Yankee Echo. I thank you because for two reasons. One, for joining us here, and two, for giving me a moment to transfer from my DX Summit page to my log page and log you in. Very good afternoon to you, John. This is Peter, Long Island, New York. You're a 5 and 9, John, from Long Island, and my home call is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Over to you.
Roger, Peter, Roger. Yeah, thank directed a 40-year-old Shure 444G this afternoon. It's working. How's the audio?
I think you could use a little more boost. The audio is pretty good, but maybe a little more boost to give you a little bit more strength could help. Could you do that?
Yeah, I'm new to my Icon 7300, so I'll sort that out. I'm not working any compression right now.
Yeah, the parametric equalizers really do a good job. Well, the 7300, yeah, that has a parametric. So, yeah, you have a lot of leeway to go with that. And if you want to come back to me after you fiddle around, I'll be more than happy to give you a signal report, John.
Well, I'm going to have to move off for the evening, but perhaps some other time. I appreciate the assistance. At least the audio is not garbled, so I think I can work on the compression side in the meantime. I'll let you go. I appreciate the call. W2HRU. This is November 4, Yankee Echo Clear.
Thank you, John. November 4 Yankee Echo, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo uniform. No, not garbled at all. The audio is clear and crisp. So all you need is a little bit more drive, and you'll be good to go. I'm also streaming this live on Twitch TV, so I can also give you you can listen to your own audio if you'd like. You can listen to it now, of course, and compare that. So you go to Twitch TV, my call sign, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, and you look at basically about 4101 on the stream, and you'll be able to pick up your call if you'd like to do that. 73s, and you can receive a certificate from HRU by going to the W2HRU site if you collect paper, or a QSL card, which will basically be 25 years of Ham Radio University teaching. 73s, John, and a very happy, healthy new year. QRZ, anyone, anywhere for Ham Radio University, W2HRU. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, W2HRU, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform. CQ calling CQ, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform, CQ and listening.
Whiskey Foxtrot 4 X-ray.
Thank you very much. Whiskey Foxtrot 4 X-ray, nice signal, nice audio, 59 plus. And I see that you're in Florida. I hope I have your call right as Whiskey Foxtrot 4 X-ray. Over, back to you.
Roger, you got it right. Whiskey Foxtrot 4 X-ray. It's the Walden County Amateur Radio Club station, over, in Florida, Northwest Florida.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, I'm looking at your QRZ page, and a very nice logo, for the Walton County Amateur Radio Club. And I like the fox coming out of the barrel. That's great. Very colorful, very humorous, and a lot of fun. Well, good. Thank you very much for making contact with us. What is your first name? My name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. What's your first name for the log?
First name is Rodney. Romeo, Oscar Delta, November, Echo, Yankee, Rodney. Let me give you my call letters too, and you get 2 contacts.
Yes, hold on. Let me put this in the log and give me your call, Rodney.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Yes, sir. I am ready to receive right now. Go ahead.
My call sign is Kilo Juliet 4, Juliet Alpha Hotel, KJ4 JA8, just a hand.
Got that. KJ4 JAH. There's Rodney in Florida, and it looks like how's that pronounced? Defuniak Springs, Florida? Give me the pronunciation so I can understand that. Go ahead, Rodney.
Roger, you're close, real close. Defuniak, Springs, Florida. We're about 60 miles northeast of Panama City.
Kilo 4, stand by. I'll be right with you.
About 45 miles southwest of us, over.
I got it. Well, thank you very much for that. I put you on my map with a little pin. Thank you, Rodney. Happy, healthy New Year. And if you'd like a certificate, feel free to download it from the W2HRU site. 73s and Happy New Year, Rodney.
Roger. We appreciate you getting back with us. We want to get the club, and we'll put a little thing in there, maybe send you a QSL card from the club and from my house. Talk with you later. KJ4JA. I'll be on the side. Hey, good luck.
Well, thank you so much. We love a QSL card. Thank you for that. And if you want to go one more step, I'm streaming live on Twitch TV. My call sign W2JV. If you'd like to also see the stream. 73s. There's a K4 station. Go ahead.
You said
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. This is Kilo 4, Mike and Julian Fox. Just saw you spotted on DX Cluster. Thought I'd try to work you here this
I got W2J, is that right?
I'm down here in Lenore City, Tennessee. I apologize for interrupting your call just a minute ago with the other station. The name here is Mike. I'm down here in Lenore City, Tennessee. You've got a beautiful 5.9 copy on you down here at QSL.
QSL. At one more moment, Mike, for a moment. KJ4 JAH. KJ4 JAH. Are you still with me? Yeah, Rodney, it's Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Uniform, the call sign, and the site Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor is my call sign at Twitch TV. Twitch TV. Go to my QRZ page and you can scroll to the Twitch TV login. Hope you receive that.
I hit the knob and changed frequencies. I just got back W2, and what's after W2? Whiskey 2.
Yes, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. You'll be able to find your way to Twitch TV going through that logo with W2JV Twitch TV.
Roger. What state are you in?
I'm in New York, Long Island, New York, about 45 miles from New York City.
Roger. Talk with you later. This is Whiskey Foxtrot 4 X-ray and KJ4 JH. I'll be on the side.
Thank you so much, Michael. I really am sorry, Mike. Apologies. Now I'm on Long Island, Mike. Back to you. I hope you're with me.
Peter, it's I'm the one that should be apologizing, sir. W2 HRU Kilo 4 Mike Julian Fox. Once again, I apologize. Oh my goodness. But good afternoon, sir. The name here is Mike down here in Lenore City. The call is Kilo 4 Mike Julian Fox QSL.
Yes, Kilo 4, Mike Juliet Fox. No need to at all. That's what amateur radio is all about. You know, amateur radio is sometimes sloppy and disorderly, and that's what we expect. That's why we love it so much, because you can't draw straight lines from one call to another. So I just enjoy making contact with you, and his station wasn't that strong, so I can understand that. Well, we're celebrating, Mike, 25 years of operating forums, educational forums, and getting together with other hams in Long Island, New York section. It's basically a division convention for Long Island, and we are looking forward to it on January the 6th. And there'll be plenty of material on the website, hamradiouniversity.org, where you can download past presentations through YouTube, look at PDFs. So there's a lot of good education, a lot of interesting subjects. We try to get the best subject matter experts that we can find, and I think we have a good group this year as well. Any other questions, Michael, that you might have?
Negative, no sir, not at all. I happen to see you spotted, and I wanted to get in there and say good afternoon to you. Like I said, it's beautiful. I just pulled you up here on QRZ and got all the information here. I'm going to pass it along. I've got some other fellows that are down here. I'm sure would really enjoy working you and making contact with you today. I'm sure they enjoy the information. Thanks for what you do, helping spread the word about amateur radio. And Peter, you take care of yourself. Happy New Year to you, and take care, my friend. Hope to work with you again sometime. But see you W2 HRU K4 MJF 7-3, sir.
Oh, thank you, Michael. K4MJF W2HRU. My pleasure. Thank you for the very kind words. I really do appreciate that. Thanks for spotting us as well. And we're going to be here through January the 6th. Also, there are a number of POTA stations, number of parks on the air. They're operating the W2HRU site. So it's kind of a interesting combination of a special event, both with the park and with the call sign. So if you have a chance or you like to work parks, they're going to be out there as well, and a lot of them post on Summit. Hey, 73s, happy, healthy New Year, and thanks a lot for being patient while I was settling things with Rodney. 73s to you. Be well. Thank you. CQ calling, CQ, anyone, anywhere for Ham Radio University. 25 years of having fun, bringing forums, fellowship, and just good cheer to amateur radio operators. QRZ, anyone, anywhere.
Kilo, Quebec 4,
The Echo Hotel Romeo. Stand by 1 second. There was a station before that. Go ahead. QRZ Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo uniform.
November 4, Yankee Echo for a comeback.
Yes, November 4 again. Come back to me.
Yeah, Peter, this is November 4, Yankee Echo. Yankee Echo coming back with a different microphone for 2010.
Gotcha. November 4 Yankee Echo. Yes, John, that microphone isn't much better. Also, very low audio. Low audio, a little lower than the Shure microphone. Go ahead.
So this is worse than the Shure, over?
Now I'm hearing you. No, you're getting a little closer. No, I would say equal, or if not a tick better. It probably is. I would say just a little tick better, not significant, but slightly better.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Just a quick test, appreciate that. And for Yankee Echo, please.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. The Echo with the Romeo coming in.
Yes, sir. Kilowatt, Charlie 8, Echo, Hotel Romeo. Good afternoon.
Well, thank you. Kilo Charlie 8, Echo Hotel Romeo. Well, a very good afternoon to you and a happy new year. Thanks so much for your patience. I appreciate that. But you know what? People in the Midwest are patient, and you're in Michigan over there, and I think Eaton Rapids. Is your name Clint Kelly or just Clint? Go ahead.
No, it is Clint. My middle name is Kelly. That's named after my great uncle, and who also was a ham, and I was not aware of that until after he passed away. I knew he was into TV, and he used to run moonshine in the hills of Kentucky, and he ended up getting his ham license not much before I did. I wasn't aware of it. I remember when I talked to him about it, and I talked to him about amateur radio and how I was excited about it. He just smiled and said, yeah, I know about it. In my mind, I'm thinking, no, it's not TV, it's ham radio. And unbeknownst to me, he had his license, and I wish I would have been more aware of it, but that would have been fun. But anyway, so no, it's Clint. Middle name's Kelly, last name's Hannon. And you have a booming signal in here, by the way. You're about 20 over. I'm going to send it back to you, Peter. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Clint. I appreciate that. KC8EHR W2HRU. That's an interesting, colorful story. Now, let me ask you this question: was he using? You can. I know he passed away, perhaps, but is he using? Yeah, he is an SK, I guess. Was he using that radio? Did he say they used it in the moonshine runs?
No, he didn't. About the time I got my ham radio license,
you don't want to get him arrested.
Actually, no, he might have got it just after I did. I have to look at my notes. I got it over here behind me, but I don't want to reach for it and get away from the mic. But I think he might have been a Kilo Delta 8. So he didn't get his. We got our ticket around the same time, and I think I might have got mine actually just before he did. But he was of age. He was my great uncle, so he was probably about mid-50s, early 60s, about that time. And he was running moonshine much younger than that. And him and my grandpa both did it.
Love these stories.
He had the old moonshine tank with a floorboard hatch release where you just pull the lever and it would drain all the moonshine out if you couldn't get away from the authorities. Over.
Oh man, that is wonderful. That is precious. I know there are a lot of creative engineering that went into that, but I haven't heard that one before. Isn't that something? Well, one thing you do know, Clint, is certainly it's in the DNA. I mean, that's for sure. And yeah, it is a shame you didn't know about it when he was around, but nevertheless, it's still part of those makeups, those atoms that you have. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. But and I guess you wouldn't have access to any of his logs, would you?
No, that's the sad thing. See, my family is strained, but I was actually close with him. I loved him and my great aunt Sandy, and but I kind of pretty much detached myself from both sides of my family. So is my brother, and just kind of self-imposed. It's just our own decision, personal decisions. Just a lot of drama there, to be honest with you, Peter. And we're much better off, to be honest with you. It's sad to say, but we are. And I'd like to have, though, but he has passed on, and then my great aunt, she got married, and I think she's passed on since then.
See, these are ham radio stories.
Of having those, it'd be slim to none. Over.
Roger, and you know what you're saying is so typical of so many families, and I have a branch of our family that we got a little sideways with. Started with my father, and then it just continued, and there are a number of actually first cousins. So I think it's very common. It really is, and the most important thing is you do what's best for your immediate family, and not have any tension that arises out of it. Let me ask you a question. I'm looking at your desk on the QRZ profile page. Is that a desk that you built? Because it's a really neat looking and special looking desk, Clint.
Yes, sir, it is. Thank you very much. It's okay. I'm a union carpenter, and I love doing woodwork. And these doors actually came from a project that we were working on with a company I was with for quite a few years. I was with them for 15 years, and these doors came from the Michigan State Bar Association, and they're solid wood doors, solid. Anymore today, when you get a door, it's gypsum on the inside. They're not solid wood, and then they have a laminate veneer over top of them. So they have these are solid wood, and they're like a butcher block look, and they had wood laminate over it. And I took 7 of these, and I took a heat gun. Usually what you do is you heat up the laminate, it separates the
I hope you're taking notes here.
from the, so that way it softens it up is what it does. And then you can peel the laminate off. Then you have your virgin substrate. Wouldn't work. And laminate, a lot of people aren't aware of this, laminate is either 2 or maybe 3 layers. What that heat gun was doing was softening the glue, I guess you could say softening it between the layers of the laminate, causing it to bubble up, but it was not softening the glue between the laminate and the wood. So I took a router, a 3/4 inch router bit, and I plunged this thing entirely, so it's anywhere between a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 inch pass on all these doors. Actually 4 doors. The rest of them I kept them, turned them into workbenches. And after I did it, I sanded it down, then I made a recessed lay area for a map. I put plexiglass over it, and everything just kind of sits on there nice and neat. So made it L-shaped, and it's actually changed a little bit since that picture. Now I have an AL80B sitting to the left. I have the old Ten-Tec right here in front of me, and the Elenco right on top of that, hanging on the shelf, and then a Kenwood 742. And on the very top of the shelf, I've got an MFJ differential T-tuner, the 986, a handle. It's a 3KW. And over to the left of me, I have a Ten-Tec Triton.
Wow, you go to KC8EHR's QRZ page, and you'll see the desk that he's talking about.
And it's the original mic. It's an electric, model number 215 Ten-Tec microphone. The serial number on the back of the radio is 00032. So I love this rig. I know it's old, and it's got its quirks, but it gets me on the air, and I really love this rig. Over.
Oh my goodness, you bet. Let's first talk about the Ten-Tec. Yeah, the Ten-Tec, like the AL80B, which I have also, is built like a tank, and it's very difficult to destroy that. And the Ten-Tec, I think, is of the same genre. It really is. Well, the desk store, I was fascinated. I'm streaming this, Clint, on Twitch TV, and I hope there are a number of listeners. Yes, yes, gentlemen, stand by 1 second. You had JAZZVT 321, JAZZVT 321. He said he's listening to Twitch TV, and he said, sounding good, thanks for doing this. Well, I appreciate that very much. And people, I think, are listening in detail the way you described construction of the desk. And that is incredible. Yeah, it looks like, you can put a lot of weight on that desk. Just look at the thickness. We have a board that my grandfather built, a board that you use basically for dough, ironing, using, the roller. And it's got that type of thickness, and that thing, you just season it, and it keeps on ticking. So, what a nice piece. Now, I'm curious. I can't tell because of the picture. What kind of wood actually is it that you're using?
Well, as I look at it, it's like the wood I use for the backdrop. So that top shelf that I have in there, that is a piece of 3/4 inch by 12 inch pine, right? And it's L-shaped. And it's like a fake wall is what it is, because I have like what you would call a trough or a chase, about 6 inches behind the back of that shelf wall in the actual, most people call it a modesty panel, the back wall of the desk, because it is So this desk I'm sitting on here with the radio equipment is an actual door. And then on the back, which would be the modesty panel that butts up to the wall, that it stands up perpendicular or parallel. I'm sorry, not perpendicular, but parallel with the wall. That's like a modesty panel. That's a solid door. And then so I have like a 6-inch gap between that and the shelf that hides all my wiring. And as I'm looking, so the parts that I made, it's pine. You can see the knots in it. But this here, I'm wondering if it's like a hickory because there's no knots in it. But I like woodworking. It's in my blood. It's in my family. I'm a third-generation carpenter, and
oh, thank you. K5KBG, listening on 14-327-300. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and very happy New Year. Thanks a lot for stopping in and saying hello on the chat. K5KBG, thank you. Very good afternoon to you. Really appreciate it.
In about a month, and made him a straight key oscillator. And just recently for Christmas made him a very large hobby desk for trains with 2 drawers in it, and then a chalkboard easel. But I enjoy it. But thank you. I really appreciate the flowers there, Peter. And I've never heard of Twitch TV, and I am going to be looking that up because I'm very curious about it. Over.
Well, yeah, you go to my home call, W2JV, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Clint, and I have some links to Twitch TV, and you can go there and see all my past videos, and you can join and just listen here to today's video and all the nice information that you've been given. People are really enjoying it, by the way, Clint. They're sending chat messages, which they can do here on Twitch, and letting me know how much they're enjoying listening to your description of that desk. Yeah, I think the L shape, the L part of the desk, yeah, that's without a doubt. I don't see any knots in that at all. Now, I'm sorry to be taking up your time, but it's just fascinating looking at these QRZ pictures. That clock on the wall is by any, and the wood of that clock looks similar to the wood of the desk. You didn't build that by any chance, did you?
No, that's funny you should mention that. And if I'm drifting, let me know, because this radio likes to do that once in a while. And no, I didn't, actually. So I have, on my dad's side of the family, his first cousins, which would be my second cousins, they're into wood carving. And 2 of them, Bob Strobel is a ham radio operator. His call is KD8DQQ. And he's a great guy. His brother carved that. And he earned, I think it's called a Grandmaster Carving. I don't know what they call it. He was considered a Grandmaster Carver. I don't know if it's because of that particular clock, but another one, it's got to have so many cuts or carves in it, and you're considered a Grandmaster Carver. And,
I'm going to tell Clint that I wish he was my neighbor.
And I'm like, you know what? I was really impressed, and I said, Bob, I would like to buy that from your brother. So back in the day, about about 15, 20 years ago, I picked it up. It was $150. But you know what? It was worth it. It was made by him, and I was very elated. Over.
Oh, what? No doubt about that. Absolutely, Clint. That's a great story. You've got a good story for every wonderful piece, and it's nice to be able to look at it and know where it came from and how you came about to acquire it. Well, thank you very much for that. We appreciate that. I say we because we have Twitch fans here that I think are really enjoying that. And I said to them while you were talking briefly, I said, the one thing I wish, Clint, was that you could be my neighbor. You would be an amazing asset. My goodness, I tell you what, carpentry is something that I do. It's more persistence than anything than talent. But when I look at that desk, it just gives me shivers. It's just so pretty. Well, I've got to probably run along, not to other people so much. I have some other things to do today. So this was a great contact. This was worth like 10 contacts. And thank you, Clint, for taking the time to just go through the whole history. We often talk about our equipment, which we're proud of. But we don't build it the way we build desks and the way we acquire clocks, so it's very special. Clint, thank you so much, and really enjoyed it. A happy, healthy New Year to you, and thanks for making my channel even more popular today because of your talk. I really appreciate that. I'll send it over to you for 73s, and thanks so much. KC8EHR W2HRU.
All right, Peter. Well, you know what I really can't appreciate and say say enough. I thank you for all the flowers. But you know, one thing especially late, I dropped out of hobby for 15 years. I got back into it about 2 years ago. I kept all my equipment. And this desk was totally torn apart, and I brought it back, put it back together, and I actually had this desk on temporary casters and had the coax coming in from the grounding plate long enough so I could roll this thing around as I was framing and hanging drywall, because when you finish drywall mud, you got to let the mud dry before you can do the next step. So I thought, you know what better thing to do than at least nothing else, if I can't talk on the radio, I can listen. So I was setting everything up and framing and getting this built up down here so I could multitask and get on the radio. And, you know, one thing since then, I've really got to thinking, I'm getting older. We're all getting older. And my daughter got her license, and, you know, you never know, my grandkids may want to. I want something that they remember me by. I got that train that sits on the desk. You know what? My grandpa on my mom's side, he was the other one that ran moonshine. He didn't have anything. He was poor than dirt. And that train is actually a phone. And you put AA batteries in it, and it'll whistle like a train when it rings. And I was just flabbergasted. When I saw that, I thought it was so cool when I was a kid. And my grandpa always told me, he said when he passed on, told me I could have it. So for me, I want to have things when I pass that I want my kids to just treasure. And it doesn't have to be expensive. I want, like that straight key oscillator, you know, I put notes on it to my grandson, let him know that I love him dearly. And I want my kids to look at my logbook, because I handwrite my logs. I just recently, up to 2 weeks ago, started using the QRZ logbook. I never had before. I write all my logs down. And I want my kids to be able to, or my grandkids, or whomever, because I'm nostalgic like that, you know. I wish I could go back and look at my great-uncle Kelly's logs. You know, and people forget that. And I look at my logs, and I'm looking at my very first HFCW contact.
Doing a little bit of drift on the old rig.
My first HF contact in my logbook. It's on the QRZ log now. It was CW. That guy, he's assigned like key. Someone else had been assigned that call. And as I was going through that, I got to thinking, how many people have a call sign that's assigned to them that don't know anything about the person who had the call before them? And because there are a lot of people, especially the older people, that they have a phenomenal history, just a phenomenal life. You know, either they served in the war, they served on a ship, they did CW, communications, or whatever. And I got to thinking about that kind of stuff. I thought, you know what, I want something for my kids to be able to look back and see something and say, well, that's my grandpa's handwriting. Well, my grandpa wrote this, or my grandpa made that, you know, so I don't know. I'm a nostalgic old fool, and I think this is an awesome hobby. And it's something that you can definitely incorporate with your kids, your grandkids, and it's just a great thing to even just a pass down. So I wanted to make it something memorable, I guess. So, but thanks, Peter. I know you got to go, and thank you so much. And hey, my wife's got a T-shirt that says "Amateur Radio." The only hobby that uses its hobby to talk about its hobby. And it's so true. So I'm not always into the quick contacts. I love the QSOs, talking to people like you, people you've never met before, and hearing their stories and everything. So I appreciate the conversation, much so. Anyways, Peter 73, God bless. Happy New Year to you and all your listeners and your family. Okay, so are you W2HR for the event? The first one called W2JB, correct? Over.
Yeah, a little bit of QSB there at near the end, but I got all of it. Yeah, the home call is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, and of course this is W2HRU. Well, you hit some really hot buttons, and one of the things that you said was about just keeping things that can be passed on. You know, just recently, my niece, who's 12 years old, she joined me in Field Day this year. And I introduced her to the Agoda tent, and she operated a little bit. She started to fool around with a CW key, and she felt like she had an instrument in her hand, a musical instrument. So she joined her amateur radio club at her high school, and it's more of a programming club, but nevertheless they do some work in amateur radio, and she's studying for a tech license. So I bought her a key, a oscillator key, and I don't think she's not an actress at all. When she got that, her eyes just lit up. So can you imagine, she's 12 years old, 25, 30 years when I may not be around, and she hopefully will remember, hey, Uncle Peter gave me this key, and maybe now I'm some kind of an expert CW operator, I'm a CW Ops Academy graduate. Who knows? But you're right. You're right. To have something, and of course you have something that's really solid and memorable, and nothing like what you have that you can pass on. So that means a lot. And then finally on the call sign in history. Now I agree. My old call sign was WB20QQ, and I looked for a call sign with a little bit of history. My father was in World War II. This call sign W2JV was first issued in 1929, went through 2 owners, and the last owner was in the Air Corps in World War II, and he had a very, very storied and positive history, and I collected all I could on him. So yeah, that's another part of our hobby, just the history of calls and who owned it. And occasionally a person will say to me, hey, I spoke to Elliot, I spoke to him, and it's interesting to hear that. What a nice guy they say he was, and he was really involved in DX. So, that hit a hot button. Well, thank you so much for sharing all the background, and I agree. There's nothing like a good rag chew, and your wife's T-shirt is absolutely right. That hits all the buttons. Hey, Happy New Year. I hope we can talk again, and thank you very much for making this a very memorable New Year's post day. Thank you so much on January the 2nd. Hey, 73s, and be well, and keep those stories coming and those memories certainly planted. Thanks so much, Clint. I really appreciated that. Hopefully, I got through some of the QSB. KC8EHR W2HRU. Okay, yep, I can see QSB's going. Well, we're going to go QRT. If anybody wants the final call, I'll certainly copy it. This is W2HRU.
Kilo 5, Kilo Bravo Golf.
Kilo Bravo Golf. Thank you, Kilo 5, Kilo Bravo Golf. Don't know if you were listening to that, but my goodness, that was a good conversation. We're not a contest station, just advertising Ham Radio University. Ken, you're 5 and 7, Ken, Long Island, New York.
Roger, I got you 5-9 down here in Louisiana. It's a good thing you're doing. Keep it up. I don't want to keep you too long if you have stuff to do, over.
No problem at all. No problem. My pleasure. I just have a curiosity. Your QRZ page has a picture of, I suppose that's you in your diving suit, and maybe a granddaughter or daughter putting her hand at the mirror. What's the story on that, Ken?
Yeah, Roger. That is actually taken in the Georgia Aquarium. I did a dive in the aquarium with the whale sharks and
another story
the manta rays and that stuff. I'm actually 50 feet underwater at that point in time, and looking through her through the 18 inches of plexiglass.
I see. And are you free diving? I don't see any mask or any kind of oxygen, but maybe you just took it off your mouth for the moment.
Yeah, Roger. I just took it off for a minute, but yeah, I had a tank on and all that. It was about a 45-minute dive, over. I
gotcha. Lovely picture. And who is the young lady? Is that just someone coming by the aquarium?
Nope, I got lucky. That was my daughter. She was there. They were on a special. The families get a special tour while you're diving in the tank. And if you actually had time to watch the video, there's one time they're in the tube and she's carrying a dive flag around, helping to lead the tour group.
Isn't that special? That is wonderful. That is, you talk about one of a kind and really a personal card. That really is. And I'm not familiar. That's is that a EMT or a doctor symbol there that you have in blue and white on the right?
Yeah, Roger. I've been a paramedic for over 20 years.
There you go.
And a year ago, just graduated, got my registered nurse, so I swapped over to doing that, over.
Congratulations, wonderful service. You guys, you people that do it, don't work any harder. You're very special people, and I know what you went through during the pandemic. Well, listen, thank you very much for making a call and sharing a little bit of that background. I really enjoyed it very much. Thank you so much, Ken. And again, a nice 5 and 7, 5 and 8 signal here into Long Island, New York, celebrating 25 years of Ham Radio University. Thanks, Ken. Thanks for sharing that with me, and congratulations on getting into the nursing side from EMT. Wonderful work, wonderful service you perform. Can't say enough about it. K5 KBG W2HRU 73's Happy Healthy New Year, Ken.
K5 KBG W2HRU. Yes, 7-3. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for bringing awareness and hopefully bringing more ham radio out into the community. Good luck, and hopefully we'll catch you down the logbook. 7-3.
7-3s, and you are our heroes, no doubt about it. You are the heroes of our century. 73s. W2HRU, unless anyone else is there, we're going to go QRT. Okay, I sat back and I said, wait a minute now, there may be some people here. Okay, everybody, 73s, thanks a lot for listening. Thanks a million for your comments. Really enjoyed that. And we'll be back again up until the 6th, and we'll be putting time in as we can. So the best of 73s to you. Happy New Year. And we'll sign off with a little bit of music. 73s. This is W2HRU, 25 years of Ham Radio University. My home call is W2JV, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Jazz VT 321, 73s to you, and best of health. And thanks a lot for joining us. And maybe it would help me a little bit if you want to subscribe to the channel. 73s to everybody. Thanks a lot. And let's cue in some music. I don't know what that was. I don't know. Anyway, 73s and happy and healthy New Year, folks. Thanks so much. And thank you so much for the follow. Oh, I see. That's what that's what that sound was. I got a trumpet sound when you joined. Thanks so very much. I really appreciate that. 73s, and you have a very, very good day. JAZZVT 321, 73s. Let me quiet it down a little bit here. I have to end on a quiet note. There you go. Nice and peaceful, nice and silent. A little bit of music. W2HRU says 73s, and please, best of health to everyone. Thanks so very much.